the gospel has a message that goes with it. See, that's what the angel is crying. The thing that goes with it. And that is what follows the gospel. Once you receive the gospel, give heed to these words. Fear God. Give glory to him. You know what I mean? Because I think that's part of the problem with Christianity in many respects, is that there's no fear of God in it anymore. No fear of God. And people don't understand the fear of God. And it's very simple to understand. It's not, a lot of times people think like, I'm afraid he's going to destroy me. They fear God's intent. Don't fear God's intent. That's wrong. His intentions towards you, you must believe. Part of what you believe about God is his intentions towards you are good, to save you. Like it says, the idea that the love of God is to you words. It's directed at you. That is why you hear the gospel. That is why you believe the gospel, because God's love is towards you. He has opened your ears and your heart to receive Jesus. The fear of God has nothing to do with God's intent. Fearing God has to do with what God is, who he is. And I use the analogy of like a down power line or a precipice. You stand on a precipice, if you've ever, if you're a normal human who doesn't have like no fear, because some people are born like almost fearless, and so they don't feel the things we other people feel, because it's like I have instincts for fear when I'm around. It doesn't mean I don't do dangerous things. I do. But I'll tell you what. When I saw the down power, if you've never seen it, it is the line came down and the two wires were touching each other, and they kept touching each other every now. And so we go zoom, 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 and it made that noise, and it was so loud and bright, the white light, and it was devouring itself. Like the wire was just getting shorter and shorter because it kept on devouring itself, which I found to be just really interesting. It was just very. It was amazing. And but the potential, the potential for danger, like you look at like you're on a precipice, you look over the edge, you see the potential of the fall. When you understand what God is and who he is, you ought to have the same reaction of fear. Now, because God hides himself, he's not so easy to fear. So that is why it's something we have to keep or take up in mind, to fear him. To realize that God, has that immense power. He holds all our lives in the palm of his hand. It is in his power to give life and to take it away. So we ought to fear him. I don't fear his intentions towards me. I believe all things are working out good for me because I love God and because I'm called according to his purpose. And even if something that seems to be bad happens to me, it is actually working for my ultimate good. Ultimate good. I don't know what ultimate good even is. I don't know what ultimately is best for me, and or for the people I love. I don't know. But I trust God in that respect. And I'm not afraid of him. Well, what might he do? I'm not afraid of God like, oh, God might just strike me down and send me to hell. I'm not afraid of God like that. Not at all. Not in the least. I trust him. He sent his son. He laid his life down. It's like that is a demonstration of how deeply he cares for us. How deeply he wants to redeem us. And I speak of his chosen because he will not redeem all. But it is so that we can put our trust in him. Though that things seem difficult or things seem like evil is going to win, or the bad things are happening, things that for the present time do not seem good, we can know that he is for us. We should know. But we also should know on another level that God is to be feared. He is not to be taken lightly. And that and that you can put your faith in him or say you do or whatever. I don't know how they mess this up exactly, but you can do it. But then take it lightly. Take God up and faith up as a light thing. You know, like you're at a buffet and you say, well, I'll try this. I'll take it up. You take it to your table and you nibble at it and decide you don't have any taste for it. But they presume, even though they've only nibbled at the gospel, only nibbled at the things of God, that they have a right to the full package, to the salvation which was promised for those who put their faith in him. Putting your faith in God is not merely an action you take in time. It is a moment of decision whereby you enter into a commitment, like an engagement. You know what I mean? And forever after, you are bound to that. You're bound by the obligations of that commitment. And you can't just walk away. You can, but when you do, you incur consequences. You know, it's like if a woman was engaged to a man and she goes off to be with another during the engagement, and then the man returns and finds that she's been unfaithful. He is not obligated to fulfill the marriage, his end of the bargain, and he won't. And God is no different. Fear him. You can't just do whatever you want. You can't just play around with God. If you trifle with him, you'll find he is not to be trifled with. If you don't take him seriously, you'll find that you ought to take him seriously. You ought to take salvation seriously. It's the most serious thing in your life. If you're serious about inheriting eternal life, take God seriously. Don't make light of it. Don't make light of him. Fear him.